even if we're not getting the long-awaited clash of the behemoths in the likes of Venom and Spider-Man, we ought to know if Venom is gonna become part of the MCU, or will be saved for Sony's Spider-Verse, something the third movie will have to tell, especially now that Toxin is the new kid on the block, and the Ravencroft Institute is still at large. The most famous symbiote in the Marvel Universe will be back for his third installment of the franchise, a movie that will be a tricky one to figure out, firstly because of how the second movie of the franchise ended, and the post-credits scene that was given to us, and secondly solely because of the fact that we don't know how things will unfold up until the third movie's release drops. And how will the events of the movies preceding the now confirmed Venom 3 impact on the future, Sony and Marvel projects that are yet to come? Prime examples are Kraven the Hunter and Madame Web, with both movies taking place in Sony's Spider-Verse, that is if Venom even is part of this universe. On the other hand, if the plan suggests that he'll be taking part in the wider MCU, then we're in deep trouble, as anything will be possible.
See you, Dad. What does that mean?
The sequel saw Venom tested by the serial killer Cletus Kasady, who became infected with the symbiote, Venom's offspring Carnage. And even though there are more than enough plot threads to be sealed, and that big post-credit scene already giving us the seeds for the third movie, we're still deep into the unknown as to what the movie will look like, and even where the setting of the movie will be. The confirmation about the third Venom movie came straight from Spider-Man No Way Home director Amy Pascal, who shared the news just a few days before the premiere of her latest movie. However, her comments also suggest that it'll be a while before we get to see our favorite symbiote on the big screen, with us feeling lucky if we even get a trailer by the end of 2023. It's unclear as to what will come of the Sony's universe in the making of Marvel characters, but each upcoming project will probably bring us closer to knowing where things are headed. At first, Venom occupied a franchise of his own. However, with the joining of the not-so-friendly comrades in the likes of Morbius, the ever-so-close Kraven movie, and the Madame Web movie, things will surely become even more complicated if Sony's Spider-Verse collides with the MCU. And the swirling rumors of a standalone movie featuring the Sinister Six don't help at all. The one positive thing in this whole mess is the fact that the multiverse is pitched as one of the biggest deals at Marvel Studios, a narrative that could potentially tie everything up in a nice and neat bow. And knowing that the whole multiverse story will continue at least until the upcoming Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania movie, we should be in for a treat, as there seems to be a long future ahead of the slippery symbiote and his human reporter host. Considering that Venom 3 is still in the earliest stages of development, there's no clear indication of who will be taking part in the cast side of things for the movie. However, we're more than certain that Tom Hardy has already accepted to feature as the title or character for the third movie. Michelle Williams would probably be another returning member in the role of Anne Weying, aka She-Venom, with her potentially even getting her desired She-Venom movie sometime in the future. The other major actor who we think will return after the events of Venom sequel is Stephen Graham as Patrick Mulligan, with him also taking on the alter ego in the form of Toxin, yet another symbiote, judging by his glowing eyes at the end of the movie, and Toxin finding his host. On the other hand, it looks like the end for Woody Harrelson and Naomie Harris as Cletus Kasady, aka Carnage and Shriek, respectively. That is, unless there's an ingenious way of getting around the fact of your head being bitten off and being crushed by a church bell repeatedly. Rumors suggest that we might get Joe Manganiello to return in his role as Flash Thompson from the Raimiverse. In the comics, he's yet another human that gets caught up in all the symbiote drama. Despite its flaws, Venom Let There Be Carnage brought us a great fight sequence and even more character development, especially the bond that Eddie and Venom share, even more depth to it, and a tease for Mulligan's Toxin for the third movie. And even though in the credits he was not listed as the symbiote, in the comics he's the one to take on the mantle.
Where you going? That is a red one! You need to come out right now. I will let you eat everybody! Promise! I promise!
As for the third sequel story, it's still too early to tell, but the most important thing is that Andy Serkis will yet again be helming things, with him saying that there's so much story to be told in the Venomverse, really interesting journeys to be told before the inevitable happens. What was he referring to by this quote? Well, our minds went right into the direction we all want to see Venom go, his eventual battle with Spider-Man, whether it's Holland, Maguire, or Garfield's version of the character. The post-credits scene also showed us that the symbiote's hive mind is aware of who Holland's wall-crawling hero is. The story might try to go in the direction of the fabled crossover movie with Spider-Man and Venom, But this is just a speculation right now, so don't take our word for it just yet. The other thing that has been mentioned a couple of times regarding a potential third Venom movie was the Ravencroft Institute, with the institution having real mileage in some of the other supervillains that are being kept there. More stories to be told for those individuals, especially if by some chance they all escape at once. There is no clear indication about what the plot of the movie will be, but we're more than sure that it'll be an epic one even if Venom and Spider-Man don't meet over the course of it. There are still many things that need to be cleared out, and that's why we prepared a little extra for you. Some of the questions that the third movie will probably try to answer. The most important thing we need a clear answer to is the question of how were Eddie and Venom able to cross over to the MCU, with the information given to us possibly heading towards the two Marvel behemoths clashing in the realm of the MCU in the near future. It would be a key thing for us to know how Venom was summoned into the MCU and why the two even switched planes of reality by the end of Venom Let There Be Carnage. Constant rumors are also suggesting that we might be getting a She-Venom standalone movie for the character with Michelle Williams in the role, something she has been craving for quite a while now. The upcoming movie might get into this and give us a little more perspective on things, with the character possibly getting a hint or two as to how its story would evolve moving forward. Mulligan's revival from the brink of death confirms the emergence of one of the most powerful symbiotes in the universe, Toxin. Presented as an anti-hero in Marvel Comics, Toxin together with his host Mulligan and the training he has could make for an incredible take on the character, something we ought to know. So it'll be an interesting thing to know how the character will be highlighted, and whether he'll continue to live on even after the events of the third Venom movie, and how will he be used in the future, a thing the movie should have a say in, especially because of how Venom and Toxin were interpreted in the comics. On a related note, tell us down in the comments below what are your thoughts on the Venom character and the franchise so far. Do you think that the third movie can potentially be an even better version of the bond between Eddie and Venom? And if you could choose, which universe would you like to see Venom appear next? In Sony's Spider-Verse or the MCU? And why? But also don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Until then, take care and be happy.